Welcome, welcome, welcome. So yes, let me model one for you and then you'll catch on. Okay, so we are 23, you said? Okay. The only one I said not to do the chart on was which one, do you remember? The whole, because it didn't have like asymptotes. It ended up being like a line or something, if I remember correctly. All right, 23, perfect. Okay, and in the end, this is where you need to be by the end of this unit, number 23. You need to be able to do that one. Okay. Okay, so what is it? Y equals 5 over x plus 6. I need room. Okay, so this is what it'll look like on the test. Step 1, find the VA, read the chart. What does it say? Where's the VA? Zeros of the denominator. So you say this, and with one small step, what's left? When you subtract the 6, what does it say? So I need, what did I say? I need the x equals, okay? Because on your test, it'll be multiple yes, and y equals -6 will be one of the wrong answers. Will. Okay. So you will write x equals -6 and a good one of those. All right, for the you gotta go to the N and M chart. What's the highest exponent on the bottom? 1, that's M. And if there is no exponent upstairs, what is it? 0. So you look at it and you're like, N is what compared to M? Smaller, right? N is smaller than M. Okay. So you go to your chart and what does it say? Y equals 0. Put that in your chart and give me a quick sketch of that guy. Okay, we said someday there'll be a slant asymptote, but not this year. Okay, now we go to the intercepts. Okay, at first glance, will there be an x-intercept? No, because we got what on the x-axis? The line you're not allowed to touch. Okay, but how do you find these? Let's see. Start with this one. If you want y, get rid of x. Okay, so when you get rid of the x, or x is, what's left? Just 5/6. Sorry for the fraction, but that is correct. Working. Okay, so put the dot there at 0.6. Half your graph is now done. Okay. And how do we find the other half? It's either this or this. We don't know. So pick a number over here on this side of -6. So all correct answers. Let's go with -7. I'm feeling it here. So now it's 5 over what? 1, which is -5. Okay. So plotting that dot, -7, -5. It is above or below the dotted line? Below. And so picture's done. Finish the chart. Okay. Just so we said there won't be one, but where does it come from? Zeros of the numerator. Yeah, zeros on the numerator, and can the numerator equal 0? Yeah, so that would have told you not happening this time. And what's the last one on there? Whole only occurs when? Whenever you factor and cancel something, nothing cancels, done. Okay, so get a chance during SOAR tomorrow or whatever, clean up that homework and submit for full credit by next time. Okay. All right. Anything different, or are we ready to get to our mini lesson today? Good if you're good. Okay, guys, did you pick up the worksheet when you came in? Go grab one. This is called variation. What did I call it? Very easy. So at the top of your page or on a separate sheet, we need to have the formulas. Go get them on the test, but here they are. All right. Direct and inverse are the big two. Here's direct variation. You write, I will decipher it for you. Okay. Why the two arrows? It means that something depends on something else, and it's always going to be going the same direction. All right. Example. Okay. The more snow we get, okay, the more likely we're to get 2 hour late. Okay, those went the same direction. Okay, the less snow we get, the less likely it was that we were going to get 2 hours late. So that's called direct variation. Do you have any other that you'd like to add to that? How about the more you study, what should happen to your grades? Yeah, the more study, grades go up. So that's direct variation. Okay. And what about the opposite? That's called inverse. Okay. So this would be like, I don't know, the lower the temperature goes, the more clothes I wear. Okay. Vice versa. So K, bless her heart, that's going to be a number. But the Y and the X will always be there. Direct is side by side, K times X, and inverse is K divided by X. So easy. So let's go right to your worksheet. We're going to do these first 12. Well, actually, you know what? Can't do the first 12 till back to the notes. Got one more. Okay. So direct and inverse. All right. What if they are going together here? It's called joint variation. And that's where it depends. One thing happens because many other things all happen. Okay. I got to school today because my alarm clock went off, my car started, and I didn't get into an accident on the beltway. So my variation was dependent on more than one thing. Okay. And if they're all going the same direction, it's called joint. So here you would say Y is varies jointly with X and Z. All right. What if one of them is direct and one of them is inverse? Just put one on the bottom. This will be called mixed or combined, depending on where you're looking. Okay. That's it for the notes. Let's look at the worksheet. Do a couple together. That'll do. Okay, so now that we have these, look at the first 12 questions. You're gonna do them all and it'll take you about 12 seconds probably. All right, let's do one together. All right. Number one. What is that? It looks like C is direct variation with M because it was multiplied by K, which is 12. Which one is that, direct or inverse? Okay, so that's direct. Put a D, I think that'll do. All right, think you get where we're going here. How about number two? Okay. Why don't you finish the other 10 in like 10 seconds, but that one was inverse because it was, all right. It's not always Y's and X's, but it'll be in the same pattern. Okay. This will be more homework than some of you've done. You're allowed to move things to looking for the pattern. Variation. Very easy. That's the people that just came in. You have three. One last one. Did you have eight to two? Oh, that's the one. Eight, six. The one. All right. Everybody's remote. Which one is it? All right, guys, work with me. All right, number three, do you recognize it? What formula is that? Area of a triangle, good for you. All right, so what is it, an area formula depend on? With the base and the height. Bigger the base, more the area, bigger the height, more the area, so that's direct, right? Or I'm sorry, not direct, two of them makes it joint, good. But what is joint when it's more than one thing all multiplied? Okay, this one tricky. All right, some of you saw it. What do you have to do? Because it doesn't look like any of our patterns. Let's divide by, pick a letter, W or R. And now which one is that? It's inverse. This one, okay, all of them multiply and more than one makes it joint. Very good. This one is just straight up direct, right? F equals K times M. Over here, comes up direct, straight across. 8 is exactly like 4. If you divide by either letter, What do you got? Invoice. Niner, joint, because it's R and H. I think you got this. 10 is invoice. All right, finally, a tricky one for you. All right, what did you think it was? I got inverse, I got direct. Could be mixed. Let's see. What is the trick here? What if I cross multiply? What do I get? B equals 3A. Now I eyeball it. Which one is that? That's direct. That's the only trick I got. Okay, except for this divide by W. All right, so that was direct. And circumference formula. Circumference of your circle depends on. Two numbers. Actually, two numbers and one letter. So what is that? Correct, isn't it? Okay, because it only depends on the radius. Okay, don't get confused. What's pi? Is a number, right? So if you do double pi, that's like 6.28 R. Does that make sense now? So it really was only one letter. All right, I think you got that. So let's do a couple of these together. You're responsible for the odds here on out. So let me do two of them with you, maybe. I'll leave you the odds. Let's do number 14 together. Okay. So your challenge is to write a formula for this guy. It says this, y varies directly as x. So what are you gonna write? Y equals kx. Okay, but remember, the x and y could be any letters, but it has to be multiplied by k if it said direct. Okay, all right, so now let's fill it in. Your first job is gonna be to solve for k, bless her. So what do we get first? Plug both those in. What do we got? 35 equals a times 7. So how do you solve for k? Divide by 7, and that means that k equals 5. Okay. Now, I'm going to circle it because some problems, not on this worksheet, but sometimes that's all they wanted. They're like, well, what's the constant of proportionality it's called? Okay, it's 5. Okay, but what should you really do with that? Put it right there and write this, y equals 5x. That's the equation you can use to find any pair. Okay, so now finish this. It says find y when x equals 11. So that's your second bit of information. Plug in the 11. What's y equals? 55 is the new y. That's how you do these problems. You got to find k first, plug her back in, and then take the new set of given and see what the answer is for the missing piece. Okay. And I just did 13 in said we're gonna do the evens. All right, so your first problem's done. All right, let's skip down to an inverse one or a joint one. Let's see. Number 20. This time I won't do one of your problems. All right, write me an equation for number 20. Y varies inversely as x. What do I write? Y equals, what's the inverse? K over x. Okay, so that's step one. Yeah, could I have written X equals K over Y? Sure. Means the exact same thing. All right, now plug in. Tell me what K equals. Bless her heart. So I got 2 equals K over 2. What does K equal? How do you finish that? Multiply by this 2, right? What does that give you? K equals 4. So again, K equals 4, that's nice. But now it needs to go back in the formula, which just turned into Y equals 4 over X. Okay, finish this problem by putting in your new info, X equals 1. Plug it in. What's Y equal? Done. Yeah, that's how you do these. You've got to write the formula down, plug it in, find K, and then use new information with your newfound K. Okay. And really, I think we're done, but let's look at a joint problem just quickly. Number, let's see, 17, it's one of yours. All right, the only thing I want to do with you for number 17 is write a formula. All right, Y jointly is X and Z. So which one is that? Y equals, here comes K. X and Z. And then do we multiply or divide these? They're both multiplied. What will it say if it's joint, or what do you call it, combined? It'll say jointly is X and inversely is Z. Then whichever one was inverse, put on the bottom. Okay. So I think you got this, even though our class is shortened today. I think you finish before you leave today. That's my guess. All right. So welcome to variation.